A very warm welcome to this session hosted by the United Kingdom. I'm K.D. Rajan, Head of Technology and Innovation at the Department of International Trade and Deputy Head of the Mission at Bangalore. It's my privilege to anchor this session. We are delighted that Dr. C.N. Ashwath Narayan, Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka, Dr. Ramana Reddy, Additional Chief Secretary, Government of Karnataka, and the team from ITBT are with us today. Over the next 50 minutes, we have the opportunity to discuss about technology role in green recovery and a sustainable future. We shall start with remarks from the dignitaries, followed by insights from a panel of eminent speakers in this domain. So without much ado, let's straight dive in. Let me welcome Jeremy Pilmo-Bedford, our Deputy High Commissioner, Karnataka and Kerala, to give his opening remarks. Over to you, Jeremy, please.
I'm delighted to be here today to open the UK country session of the Bengaluru Tech Summit, entitled Tech's Role in the Green Recovery and Sustainable Future. We have a great lineup of high-level speakers today, including Dr. Ashwath Narayan, the Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka, Britain's Lord Ahmed, who's the Minister for South Asia and the Commonwealth in our Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, and Jan Thompson, who's the Acting British High Commissioner. And we also have senior representatives from 5 major UK companies and institutions with innovative products and methods to use tech to help us in the battle against climate change. The UK has been a major participant in the Bengaluru Tech Summit for many years, and I'm pleased that despite the COVID crisis, we are well represented again this year. As well as this UK country session, the Minister of State for Media, Data and at the Department for Digital Culture, Media and Sport, John Whittingdale, will be speaking at the valedictory session on the 21st of November. There is a country virtual booth at the GIA Exhibition Pavilion, which will be managed by our Department for International Trade Inward Investment team, and also an on-demand session at the BTS portal about tech growth in the UK, which shows you how to land and grow your tech business in the UK from the people who knows what it takes. So if you are an Indian investor looking to set up in the UK, I would urge you to visit the on-demand video section and to know more about how to get help from our DIT colleagues. This active participation by the UK in the summit should not come as a surprise. For while Bengaluru is tech capital and globally leading cities for tech, the UK too has one of the world's largest technology ecosystems, with thousands of tech startups built around a strong entrepreneurial culture. Many of the world's best known companies use technology and innovations from the UK in all sorts of areas, from artificial intelligence, fintech, Internet of Things, data centers, and 5G communications. The UK is home to the 3rd largest digital technology sector in the world. And over the years, the UK has evolved as a pioneer in entrepreneurship and emerging tech domains, making it an attractive destination for tech startups and businesses from India, including many from Bengaluru, such as Wipro, Infosys, and Mindtree. The UK's technology sector has continued to show impressive growth through 2020, despite the COVID crisis. Indeed, the latest data shows that there was a 36% increase in the number of jobs advertised in tech between June and August 2020. To further strengthen the UK-India tech relationship, Prime Minister Modi and our then Prime Minister May agreed a tech partnership by our 2 countries in 2018. To take this forward, we have a number of new initiatives and teams here in Bengaluru. These include the tech clusters, which include an AI data science tech cluster in Karnataka, as well as a future mobility one in Maharashtra. The tech clusters are set to run programs that will help remove barriers to growth, whether it's access to capital, skilling, opening market access, as well as looking at bringing diversity and inclusivity to the ecosystem. So far, the tech clusters have launched programs to fund COVID tech pilots, virtual AI skilling program to close the gap between academia and industry, and have relaunched the Innovation Challenge Fund allocating over £3 million to fund innovative R&D around COVID-19 and climate change, two of the most significant challenges of our time. We also have the UK-India Tech Hubs, which is part of a global network of international tech hubs developed by the UK government's Department of Digital, Culture, Media and Sport. The Tech Hub aims to build digital and tech ecosystems that will facilitate job creation and drive inclusive economic growth. They will do that by strengthening the tech entrepreneurship through partnerships with local digital ecosystems and include tech startups, incubators, accelerators, private sector and government departments here in Karnataka and across India. They will deliver interventions to cultivate digital skills, responding to the needs and opportunities for inclusion in the local tech sector. And they will facilitate partnerships between tech entrepreneurs in India and businesses in the UK and elsewhere. In addition to all of this, there are two annually competitively run programs to take startups from India to engage with the UK's tech ecosystems. The DIT-run Tech Rocket Ship program and the DCMS-run Go Global program. I should just finish by saying the UK also has the largest diplomatic network of any foreign country in India, with over 8 different missions and 8 different deputy high commissions, the High Commission, and also a trade office. Each of these contains a team from our Department for International Trade, whose job is to promote trade and investment between the UK and India. I will now pass on to our Acting High Commissioner to India, Jan Thompson, whose remarks will set the scene for our UK session today, including COP26 and the UK's commitment to global climate action. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Jeremy. Let's focus on COP26 and UK's commitment to global climate action. We are fortunate to have Thompson, our Acting British High Commissioner to India, with us today. Come on, over to you, Jan.
It's great to be here. I'm also really delighted to welcome Lord Ahmed, our Minister for South Asia and the Commonwealth, and also Dr. Ashwath Narayan, Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka. Really an honour to have you joining us today. Climate change, obviously, one of the biggest threats, probably the biggest threat we face to the economy, society, environment. We know if we fail to act, it'll be the next generation that will need to deal with it. And we know that it's real, it's speeding up. We can see the impacts all over the world. And I know, of course, India is particularly exposed to climatic extremes. You know that only too well in Karnataka, following the recent floods in parts of the state. And of course, COVID not making things any easier. India, maybe a word on India, a word on the UK, and a quick word on India and the UK together. India making tremendous progress, charting a cleaner development path, using more renewable energy, adding more electric vehicles to its fleet, and of course, alongside domestic progress, working to mobilise the global community through initiatives like the International Solar Alliance, the Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure, One Sun, One World, One Grid, initiatives we're really we're really pleased and proud as the UK to partner with on. In the UK too, lots of bold action. My favourite statistic to quote always is that between 1990 and 2018, the UK nearly halved emissions while growing the economy by 75%. So it shows it makes sense economically to take action. We've created the biggest offshore wind capacity in the world, and we're using less coal than we did 250 years ago. So it's only now 2% of our energy mix. Like India, we believe in acting globally as well. That's why we're really proud to be hosting the COP26 UN Climate Change Conference next year. We want to make that a real moment when the world will come together to move forward quicker towards a low carbon future. And we want to work really closely with India to help us mobilise that global action at COP26 and make sure that we can inspire other nations to take more action too. Together, UK and India have a long and deep partnership on climate action. We work together on developing renewable energy, innovating new clean tech, and carrying out cutting-edge research and ways of harnessing wind energy. And we're also looking together at ways to mobilise finance to pay for clean development through the joint UK-India Green Growth Equity Fund. Of course, we're also working together at state level and city level to find ways that people can build better lives. Very pleased with our partnership with the government of Karnataka on climate resilient cities through sustainable transport solutions, adoption of clean energy, encouraging shift to electric mobility, and of course finding solutions to air pollution, which really plagues people here in this part of the world in particular. Most recent example, launch of the Clean Air Street Initiative by the state government in partnership with Catapults UK. And I know that Andrew Stokes will be speaking a bit later and sharing further details of all of that. So what better place than Bengaluru to have a discussion on technology? We know we need to scale up green tech, not just at industrial level, but also as individuals. In the UK, we're rolling out smart meters at household level, setting up e-charging stations, and we've committed to power every household by wind energy by 2030. But of course, Karnataka showing great leadership too, installing the highest amount of renewable energy on the grid, promoting e-vehicles, protecting biodiversity, and much, much more. So we continue to work together for a sustainable future. We know a green recovery is really essential as we come out of COVID, and we need to embrace the clean technology of the future rather than the old polluting ways of the past. Got a great lineup of speakers coming up to share their cutting edge solutions to combat carbon emission. That's the way we want to go and to ensure a more sustainable, prosperous future for ourselves, for the next generation. So apologise again for the technical delays, but looking forward to a really great session, especially if I can sort out my sound and actually listen in myself. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much, Jan. That was a comprehensive update on UK's commitment and the enormous efforts that UK has been putting in terms of propelling this agenda globally, and also the kind of links we have with Karnataka and the way UK has been supporting our developments here. Thank you once again. Ahmed of Wimbledon, Minister for South Asia and the Commonwealth. He could not join us in person today. However, it was nice of him to send us his wishes and comments via a pre-recorded short speech. Could we have it played, please? Thank you so much. It's my pleasure now to invite Dr. C.N. Ashwath Narayan, Karnataka. We are indeed honored by your presence, sir, and look forward to hearing. Over to you, sir.
It was a very good to hear insightful remarks from Lord Tariq Ahmad of Wimbledon, Minister of State, Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office. A very good evening to Mrs. Jan Thompson, Acting British High Commissioner to India, Mr. Jeremy Wilmore Bedford, Deputy High Commissioner, Karnataka and Kerala, all the UK speakers and all the audience members part of the UK EIA session today. The bilateral relationship between India and UK have been growing strongly over the years, and science and technology sector is the fastest growing element of this relationship. The UK-India Tech Partnership signed during April 2018 by Theresa May, UK Prime Minister, and Sri Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of India, has further strengthened the relationship. Karnataka is recognized as the nation's startup capital and innovation capital, and is home to the Silicon Valley of India, Bengaluru. Karnataka is the undisputed leader in the country in the sectors such as information technology, machine tools, aerospace, biotechnology, electric vehicles and electronics. It is indeed remarkable to see the importance and focus given by UK in the area of green technology. I am delighted to say that Karnataka has also implemented several initiatives aimed at promoting and increasing the use of green technology. Karnataka was the first state in India to introduce an electric vehicle policy aimed at promoting manufacturing and use of battery-run green vehicles. The state is aiming for 100% electric mobility in certain vehicle segments. Our capital city, Bengaluru, is a home to e-mobility startups like Ether Energy, Sun Mobility, NDS Ecos Motors, Yulu, and Mahindra Electric. Paugada Solar Park, the world's largest solar park, has been developed in Tumkur district in Karnataka and aims to shift the dependency from conventional power resource to eco-friendly energy resources. UK is one of our most important global innovation alliance partners, and we are indeed delighted to see our relationship strengthen over the years. UK has been known for its startup and innovation strength and is known for achievements in artificial intelligence, fintech, regulatory sandbox, and creative tech, among others. Government of Karnataka has collaborated with UK, collaborated on various occasions like Innovation Challenge Fund and Go Global, where Karnataka startups had the opportunity to grow at global scale. UK has participated in the previous edition of the Bangalore Tech Summit as well. Last year we had a pleasure of hosting British High Commissioner Dominic at the inaugural, and the audience also witnessed a global innovation alliance session hosted by UK titled Tech for Good. We are glad that UK is participating in a large way in the summit BTS 2020 edition. Going forward, Karnataka and UK will continue to work together to further strengthen and grow our partnership. Creative technology, data science, AI, and regulatory sandboxes will be few of the areas of focus for Karnataka to work together with the UK counterparts. I would like to wish a successful session for UK and looking forward to further strengthening interaction in our partnership. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.
Thank you so much, sir. Your enthusiastic support to the tech sector and the UK initiatives in this domain is very well acknowledged. We look forward to working with you and the government of Karnataka by sharing UK's expertise and co-creating. Let's start with Kevin Houston, co-founder Carbon Masters. Over to you, Kevin.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's a real pleasure to be here. I welcome the opportunity to share with you our Carbon Light story and our efforts to try and make a difference here in India on the issue of climate change. So, first of all, as a Carbon Masters, we're a company that was formed in Scotland back in 2009 when I met my co-founder, who was a brilliant young environmental engineer who'd come from Bangalore to study along with me a Carbon Masters program. And we set the company up on graduation in 2009. Interestingly, that year in 2008, the UK and Scottish governments passed at the time some of the most aggressive climate change legislation in the world, where we're legally establishing legal targets for carbon emission reduction. We came to India in 2012. The mission of our company is to address the climate crisis by the development of clean technologies and low carbon solutions. And we've developed two clean tech solutions, one a bottled biomethane product called Carbon Lights and an organic fertilizer. These two products seek to solve or address three big problems that impact most cities in India, but also cities across the developing world. The first issue, which people living in Bangalore will be all too familiar with, is the garbage problem, where India, in fact, due to a recent World Bank report, is generating the most municipal solid waste of any country in the world, some 227 million tons. too much of that is going to landfill where it releases methane, a toxic greenhouse gas. So that does need addressing. The good news is that Bangalore as a city is probably one of the leading cities in seeking to come up with solutions to solve that problem. In terms of energy transition, India's in the situation of importing nearly 80% of its oil and 50% of its gas. Whilst that gives it an energy security issue, it also drives up its carbon footprint, and the particulate matter from its diesel emissions are poorly impacting the air quality in its cities. And also for millions and millions of Indian farmers, the indiscriminate use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides in the last 20 or 30 years, allied with the low addition of organic matter, is reducing soil health, impacting crop yields and farmers' incomes. Now, our carbon light solution seeks to address that by we collect the organic portion of that municipal solid waste stream. We bring it into our biogas plants in our trucks, which also run on our gas. So therefore, we don't have diesel emissions. And we carry out anaerobic digestion technology to create biogas. We then use purification technology to remove the impurities from that gas so that we end up with a 92 to 94% methane mix, which we compress into uniquely designed cylinders and cascades, which we then ship to restaurants to displace LPG for commercial cooking. We also take the digestate slurry and we convert that into a carbon-enriched organic fertilizer. Now, from a restaurant point of view, chefs love to cook with our gas because it cooks at a constant pressure, it costs less in use, and of course, because it's coming from an organic source, the CO2 that it emits on burning is biogenic, so it doesn't add to climate stock, so it's carbon neutral in use. We also run a fleet of vehicles on it, and it provides a solution not only for heating, transport and cooking, but for backup power generation. The fertilizer, on the other hand, is made by a specific windrow composting process, and we add biofertilizers in a final step to give a carbon-enriched fertilizer, which helps farmers not only put carbon back in the soil, but reduces their use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides. From our original pilot plant in Dadapur, just outside Bangalore, we now are in 4 locations in both Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. The execution you see on the left, we're running in the heart of Kormangala, where we've developed an ideal solution for decentralized waste to energy processing. This is in Kormangala, where we're using an innovative way of anaerobic digestion technology housed within reused shipping containers. And this goes right through to the photograph on the right, where you see we've got a large-scale plant where we're actually bottling the gas to ship to customers. But that's, if you like, hardware technology. But we see digital technology as playing a critical role for us as we want to scale this business to reduce more carbon emissions as we go. So we've already got a digital platform across our plants, which automates our reporting, automates looking at the health of our digesters. And we wish to seek to extend that digital platform both downstream to improve the customer experience, but also upstream to our waste generators so that we can make a full transparency across our entire operations. This is important for another aspect, which I want to close with, is that the real impact of this technology for India and indeed the developing world is the impact that it can have on carbon emissions. So a typical 50-ton plant processing 50 tons of waste today stops a real near 18,000 tons of waste going to landfill. So we're saving methane emissions. We're creating a product that can displace a fossil fuel like LPG, where we can further save emissions. And chemical fertilizers by themselves are also very highly carbon intensive and energy intensive. So giving farmers an alternative to chemical fertilizers allows us also to reduce carbon emissions. Not only that, we're creating employment for both skilled, semi-skilled and unskilled people, as well as in the round, if you look at the entire end-to-end chain from waste collection, transportation, manufacturing of our 2 products and selling and marketing of those products, we believe each plant contributes to 9 out of the 17 SDG goals. From a carbon emission point of view, a 50-ton plant would reduce around 22,000 tons of carbon dioxide equivalent a year. Now, as we move forward and more companies and countries seek to become net zero, they will need to be buying offsets. So we see a huge opportunity for digital technologies to enable us to monetize the carbon savings from our plants and to be able to reduce the audit cost for that so that we can generate carbon credits at a much lower cost than would be the case if we had to physically audit the actual attributes of the plant. So digital technologies to our hardware technologies are really leading the way in showing how we can make a real difference to clean up Indian cities, provide a cost-effective clean energy alternative to the burning of fossil fuels, and give farmers a cost-effective alternative to the use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Kevin. I think it was a very interesting presentation of the link between Carbon Masters and Bangalore and Karnataka. Appreciate your inputs. Moving on, let me welcome Andrew Stokes, Business Development Manager, Energy Systems Catapult UK. All yours, Andrew.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. It's a real pleasure to have the opportunity to talk to you at such a prestigious event. My name is Andrew Stokes from the Energy Systems Catapult, and I'm going to give just a quick introduction to what we do and, more importantly, what we're doing in India. So the Energy Systems Catapult is one of the Catapult network in the United Kingdom. There are 9 Catapult centres, all focusing on a different area of industry, but all with the same key role, which is to support innovation in that area. And we are all not-for-profit organisations as well, working with private sector, the government, but also with academia. The Energy Systems Catapult is all about helping to achieve decarbonisation and meet our climate goals at the least possible cost, and enabling firms to take advantage of the opportunity that the clean growth transition creates. We work across the whole energy system. We have experience in lots of different areas, and we are a systems catapult. We try to look at things holistically to find the best optimum solutions. So I work in the international department. My role is really to support UK firms to find collaborations with overseas partners, to develop bilateral programs, to support overseas organisations with their own climate transitions, and to link overseas firms with UK ones as well. So I'd like to introduce a couple of programs we have ongoing at the moment. One of them is our Energy Launchpad International program. What this is doing is providing visibility to the UK energy supply chain of 10 international markets, 10 international countries, showing them what opportunities there are, what state the energy transition is in those countries, and hopefully allowing them to get a better view of what potential collaborations there are out there. And then the second stage of this program, this is where things get really exciting, is for 2 priority countries, we are running challenge calls to identify UK high potential SMEs with a really interesting offering, and we're going to provide them with dedicated support to develop their offering to for that market, understand the market, and to link them to collaborative partners, clients, research organisations, and so on in territory. And I'm delighted to say that of the 2 priority countries, we have Thailand and India, and we're running the challenge call now, and within a week or so we'll have our SMEs selected, and we really look forward to engaging with like-minded businesses in India to create these bilateral collaborations. I'd also like to flag up the other big project we have going in India at the moment, and this is our Innovating for Clean Air project, where we're working together with 2 other Catapult centres in the UK, but also with a number of important strategic partners in Bangalore. And this project really is to look at the challenges of air quality and the electric vehicle transition. And we're doing a number of activities. These include knowledge sharing workshops where we learn from UK best practice, but also Indian experience, see what we can learn together. It also includes doing a kind of needs assessment where we understand what the challenges are and the roles for innovation. And then most importantly, again, it's identifying innovators in innovative startups in India, other ones in the UK, and getting them to work together and enabling them to do pilot projects. These are just some of our partners without which this program couldn't happen. And just to talk about some of the things going on, we currently have, just on the EV side, a number of demonstration projects. So we have one UK firm is using their technology, which uses satellite imagery and grid data to identify the best places to put EV charge points. We have another one that has optimization technology for electric fleets. We have a couple of firms with charge point technology, which are currently deploying, for example, in the Indian Institute of Science, one of our key partners on the project. And finally, and this was referenced earlier, we have our Clean Air Street, which we're really excited about. We're working with the Directorate of Urban Land Transport in Bangalore. And what we've done is we've created a zero emissions vehicle zone, essentially, Church Street in the city, for every weekend from the 7th of November for a few months is going to be closed to normal motor vehicles and will be a test and demonstration centre for exciting innovative technologies on the air quality and EV side. And we'll also be running lots of surveys and testing things to see the impact on businesses, the impact on air quality, what people make of these technologies, to kind of familiarize consumers and citizens with them and to really increase the discussion in these sectors. So we've got both UK and Indian firms deploying on that, and it's really, really exciting. So that's it for me. I'd just like to leave by saying this work in India has been great. We're looking to replicate it going forward, and we'd be grateful to hear from anybody who wants to do that with us. That would be fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. The Church Street initiative has been very well received by the citizens of Bangalore, and hopefully we will be able to replicate it in other streets or other areas in Bangalore and make sure that we have a clean environment in and around. Thank you very much, Andrew. Moving on, let's hear from Lawrence Kemble Cook, founder and CEO of PaveGen. Over to you, Lawrence.
Thank you very much indeed, and a pleasure to be here this afternoon. So greetings from London. My name is Lawrence, and I'm the founder of a business called PaveGen, and we make floors that harness the energy of your footsteps to create electrical power. So when you walk on our floor, it produces energy from something as simple as a human footstep. Now, I've been fascinated with the Indian market ever since I first visited in 2005 to help on the inoculation against polio with Rotary Club, and it's been a close family cause for me. And I got the chance to return a few years ago, and we've really been focused on trying to build PaveGen in that market. We've partnered with the Department of International Trade from the UK internationally on many projects, but they've been especially really helpful to us in India. So I'd like to extend my thanks to the Department of International Trade for their support in helping us take our technology to India. And today I'm going to talk about our products, what the Indian market means for us, and the significance of having a major Indian conglomerate as an investor in the business. We're going to talk about how we convert the weight of footsteps into energy, data, and rewards. Now, our mission as a business is to improve the world through the power of a human footstep, because we believe that there's an untapped resource that is literally under our feet, which is people walking. And if you think about cities, especially huge, Mumbai and so forth, the high footfall level gives a really big opportunity to take that power and use it for things like street lights, like clean air systems, and even powering things like Wi-Fi. So why are we doing this? We're doing this because we're fascinated about smart cities, and it's very, very close to the climate agenda. So it's important because cities in India have become such a densely populated environment that we have huge challenges from the firecrackers at weddings leading to excessively high pollution levels at a certain period of time, and then also the burning of fields as farmers, and general pollution from transportation. So a smart city is one that needs to have clean air, but it needs to be about the people within it. So this is how we see a smart city. So it's about energy, it's about sustainability, it's about also mobility in that city. Now, we're really fascinated about it because we believe in people, and we call it the Internet of Beings, not the Internet of Things, but the Internet of Beings. So it's about people making a difference. So this is really important to us because what we do with the technology is use the energy from a human footstep. And as you can see here, when they walk on the floor, it converts your weight on our generators. And when you walk on it, it spins a flywheel within the generator itself. Now, I first came up with the idea at one of the UK's most engineering-focused institutions called Loughborough University, and it was my degree project. And with the help of the British government and other institutions, we've now taken the business to a really exciting space. So the markets we started on have been international, but working with some of the world's largest companies. So here you can see the London 2012 Olympic Games, Nike, H&M, L'Oreal, Samsung, to name a few. We've always been incredibly excited about the Indian market because there's some of the most densely populated cities and biggest challenges in mass urbanization. So we managed to partner with the Hidunja Group. So for those that are not aware, they own Ashok, Optare buses, and so they've become an investor in PaveGen. And that's tremendously exciting for us because we're working with them to eventually deploy in the Indian market, but also they have a group in Chennai of 1,400 engineers focusing on engineering of products to make them lower cost. So they're helping us to bring down the cost of the PaveGen product. So we work directly with the family, so led by PP and Shom Hidunja, who led it, who are based in London. But it's an incredibly exciting opportunity to bring the price of PaveGen down with the partnership with the Hidunja Group. Now, we're a small London technology business. We have a team of 30 now in the company. The world is talking about us and saying really exciting things. And it's being used now in places like Oxford Street to power the streetlights, outside the White House. So we know how many people were there at Trump's inauguration, and we know how many, and we know a lot about the data of what's going on in Washington, D.C. at the moment. You can see it in Abu Dhabi airports as you walk through, and we're even building running tracks in Hong Kong that are powered from your footsteps, and this actually powers the building. So we're a huge supporter of the UK government and our green initiative. We invented the Boris Bounce with our Prime Minister, Boris Johnson. This was the final event before lockdown happened in the UK, where he was jumping on our tiles. And we see a huge green revolution coming. The government has said by 2030, no diesel or petrol cars will be allowed to be sold in the UK, which I think gives us a huge opportunity to buy electric vehicles from India as a mass exporter of vehicles. We are hugely funding R&D processes into clean technology, and we only see the future as being one where collaboration with India is very important. Scale on both sides is really important with India, and so we're looking forward to building, for us, a green revolution as part of a COVID recovery, reducing the cost of our technology to open it up to the Indian market, and really looking to fuel that with our strategic partnership with the Hidunja Group. So please feel free to drop me a line, and the details are here. We'd love to continue our collaboration with the UK government and also a number of entities within India as well. So hopefully we get some good questions, and thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. Hello, Jeremy. Good afternoon, Minister. Namaskara. I'm Srini Nagarajan. I live in Bangalore. I head CDC, which is a UK government-owned development financial institution, investing in India for the last 30 years. We have invested approximately $1.8 billion in the country as of now. Climate strategy is one of our 3 building blocks, which we, because of our Paris alignment, when we talk about a net zero by 2050, the just transition to a net zero economy and adaptation and resilience, which is very important for us. Keeping this in mind, we floated a platform called Ayana in 2018 in Bangalore, to try and develop utility scale power in India with a world-class management team. And we have invested 170, and the platform has developed 1.7 gigawatt, predominantly in Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, and also in the northern states of India, and Rajasthan, and it's partnered with NIIF, the Government of India's entity, National Infrastructure Fund, which has also invested a similar amount, and the Green Growth Energy Fund, which is backed by the UK government and British Petroleum as investors. So we have developed this platform very successfully with very high business integrity standards. And Ayana is out to develop something like 5 gigawatt in the next 3 to 4 years. And the government of India's aspiration is to go up to 10 gigawatt as well. Karnataka will be a very important component of what we do. In addition, with the help of FCDO, we have also built a skill development center in Anantapuram. We will do that similarly in Karnataka, particularly to train women, and also in Rajasthan. Besides this, Ayana, which is a fascinating story, we are also definitely working on transportation, electric vehicles, battery storage, energy efficiency, transportation, smart grids, and anything which has got a very positive emission and climate positive impact. As a closing remark, because of the lack of time, I would say that CDC has committed 30% of its balance sheet, which is around $6 billion, and it's investing at a rate of $2 billion per annum. 30% of the 2021 commitment will be towards climate change projects. That will be an important component for us and for India, and India will be an important component in that. We also invest in early stage tech companies through our venture capital funds, which also focuses on climate change.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nagarajan. I think finance ties together all the green tech, so it's great to have CDC on the panel. I would like to thank all our speakers and all the participants who've taken the time to join us today for the UK session. Thank you so much for your time.